One of the most important things when you're picking your topic is something you're incredibly passionate about. That's going to come through in your writing. You want to pick something a little broader that you're passionate about and then just go forth in your research. And then when you're doing your research, let that guide your topic into writing something down. You want to do that research and then maybe narrow it down into a sentence that you can use for your thesis.
So when I'm writing a paper at MC, I found that I have to narrow down my topics to something that I enjoy writing about, and I usually use 3 things when I'm writing my papers. First of all, like I said, I want to make sure that I enjoy what I'm writing about. That's the most important thing, because if you don't like your topic, then you're not going to enjoy writing the paper. My second criteria is making sure that you have a really good thesis statement that you can make for your paper. If you can narrow down into one sentence what you're writing about, then you're golden for your paper. My last point is saying that you need to be able to make sure you have a wealth of sources to find for this. So if you feel like that it's either too narrow, then you're not going to have enough to write a paper about. So it's always good to make sure that you check beforehand to find good sources.
When starting a paper or research project, you always need to look at the requirements your professor has given you. Is there a specific question they're looking for you to answer? Is there just a general theme? And also your source requirements. Once you've answered those questions, you begin to develop a broad theme that you can then narrow as you look into sources. When starting your paper, you don't want to start too narrow when writing a paper because you run into the risk of running out of sources.
When you're doing your research, you want to do something and use that library. That library has an incredible amount of research, including in that basement. Don't just study down there, use those books. Don't be like my friends who wait till the end of freshman or sophomore year and then went, wait a second, there's books down here I can use. They have so much information. Also, use the databases. Jstor is an incredible one, but there's also other ones that have some great researches. When you're doing that research though, use advanced search. Don't just search one word. Do a couple different ones and you're gonna get a lot more specific to your research.
One of the best things that I found when finding sources is really utilizing primary and secondary sources. So if you need those for your paper, you really want to utilize something like the MC Library or the Writing Center to help you with your paper. So when you're finding the sources, I would say that you want to make sure that you have those secondary sources to really bolster your claims, but you want to make sure you add your primary sources such as journals or letters or documents that will talk about your thing from a first-person stance. One of the best places to find history sources is the online database Jstor, which has really helped me a lot when I'm writing about the things that I choose for my papers. Jstor is a really good liberal arts medium to find for your sources, and it really is going to help you find the secondary to bolster your analysis for your paper. As far as primary sources go, it's a little bit more difficult to find those because it's primary and it's usually a document that's handwritten or from a person from a long time ago. So you have to make sure that you find somewhere where you can get those sources.
Once you have developed a general theme, you can begin looking for your sources. Using keywords such as time periods or segments of the question that you're trying to answer, you can begin using databases such as Jstor to look up sources such as primary and secondary sources to use to support your argument and your thesis. Jstor is one of the most reliable databases for history projects and is available through the